Hey guys, so this is just a quick video to sort of tell everybody that I think the majority of people that are consuming a lot of content in the Neville Goddard, law of attraction, manifestation, all that stuff, community, are putting manifesting on a pedestal, frankly. You know, I've said on this channel a lot of times, I think the whole purpose of most of these videos is to kind of bring this down to earth, because it's been pumped up as this grand secret, thanks to the movie The Secret. It's been, you know, it's been sort of made into a magic trick, I think, by people that want to sell you stuff. And the truth is that if you never knew about anything having to do with manifesting, if you only ever were like really taught as a kid, you can do anything you put your mind to, nothing's out of reach for you. You know, if these types of things were instilled in you as a child, you wouldn't even need this, because that's really all there is to any of this. It's believing that what you want is possible and that you can get it. That's really it. If you believe it and you can conceive it, you can achieve it, whatever that saying is. It's true. I mean, and that's not a manifestation thing. That's like a, you know, something that your grandma tells you when you're like 7, you know? So people have this on a pedestal, like it's something that you have to figure out a technique to do, when it really just comes down to knowing what you want and believing that it's possible and believing that you will get it. So that's really it. But you know, there is this aspect to all of this that is basically that things will happen for you when you're ready for them to happen to you. You know, when something feels natural to you, that's when it can so easily just kind of like show up. You know, when it's not this big, important, like legendary, you know, thing that's going to make or break the meaning of your entire life. When it's just something, you know, it's easy to get. It's easy to make it happen for yourself, or it's easy to just sort of communicate the desire to the divine intelligence or whatever, and let it orchestrate it for you. But I think that, you know, there's a really easy way to bypass a lot of trying to change into the person that's ready for something, or for whom something feels natural. And the way to do that is, I think, for me, to realize that everything that's happening here is just not a big deal at all. There's nothing really important happening here. You know, if you can so easily manipulate reality and use your mind to bring things about, what does that tell you about the nature of this place? It's not, you know, it's not real. There's no reality that is somehow important, or that is somehow going somewhere. You know, it's just a big illusion. And how important can any of it really be if we are in a 3D avatar that dies and then we go somewhere else that isn't here? How important is anything that really happens here? This idea that, you know, you're going to achieve XYZ, or have this relationship, or have these kids, or whatever, and that will have made it any different from the guy who, you know, was pushing a shopping cart, you know, down Michigan Avenue or whatever. It's just, that's all in your head. You know what I mean? The true meaning is this consciousness, this God connection. It's somewhere in there. It's not here. Here is just a world of shadows. So looking at everything, really, like it's not that important, just sort of demotes the inaccessibility of everything, anything that you truly want. You know what I mean? If you know that it isn't going to do some crazy thing for you, if it's not going to take away, you know, this, it's not going to fill this void, it's not going to take away this sense of what, you know, what the hell is going on here? I'm scared, I'm alone, you know. If it's not going to fix that, if you know that nothing is going to, no 3D thing is going to like soothe that feeling, then things and people and experiences and stuff like that, they become way more natural. They become way more accessible. It just becomes like ordering something off a menu, you know? You know, it's like going into a nice restaurant when you don't have any money, and looking at the menu and you're like, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. And then, you know, 10 years later, you come in and your financial situation is way different, and you're looking at the menu and you realize you can have anything that you want that's on there. It's kind of the same thing when you bring your mentality into a different place in relation to the things of the world and what they're going to do for you. So, you know, I know this is easier said than done, and I'm sure I heard this plenty of times throughout my whole process of getting to this point, and it didn't really help me to hear it. Or maybe it did and I just couldn't, you know, maybe just knowing that this was the way did help. But understanding, at least accepting intellectually, whether or not you can really feel that it's true yet, accepting intellectually that nothing you're going to get here is going to fulfill you, that alone will start you on the path, I think, to getting to this point where you understand that this just isn't, it's just not that big of a fucking deal. It just isn't. Nothing that's going to happen here is going to be that big of a deal, you know? And that kind of brings everything. I think knowing that, understanding that is the equivalent of going into the restaurant with a pocket full of money, knowing you can get anything on the menu, because it just kind of, I think when you realize what a big illusion this all is, you know, it becomes much more clear that the illusion that some things are for some people but not others, that also drops away, and it just shrinks this all down. It just makes it so small and insignificant, and then you can just manipulate it however you want. Easier said than done, especially in certain areas of your life. You know, everybody has their big ones. Everybody has their areas that it's really hard to realize that this isn't important, you know. I'm tired of talking about my weight on this channel, because the more I realize all of the stuff I'm talking about here, the more that becomes a reality for me, the more annoying it is for me to have any kind of issue with something as dumb as a physical body that like breaks down and isn't even going to exist. This body that has like caused me so much misery is going to be dust. Who knows? I mean, God, it could be 2 weeks from now for all I know. And it would have like, you know, occupied all this mental space my whole life. It's going to be dust at some point, and it annoys the shit out of me to even have any kind of like issues at all about its importance. You know, it can be really challenging in certain areas of your life. But, you know, if you still think that changing something in 3D is going to fix anything, you know, I mean, that's a big one to get over, and that's one that will pay you dividends just every day once you can really get it, that it's not going to be the 3D that does the stuff for you. You know, once you figure out that it's all you, it's all in your mind, it's all your perception, it's everything having to do with your mentality that's going to determine everything in your life, that's when it gets so easy. It gets so easy to manipulate things, because they're just not that hard to get. It's like going to buy a cup of coffee somewhere. It's like, you know, manifesting dinner. You just decide you want something and then you go get it. It's the same thing with almost anything else once you really get how all this works. You want something, you really want it, there's an impulse to have it, you just go get it. It's just so easy. You just know you're going to get it and you get it. That may be an oversimplification, but for the most part, it becomes pretty easy to get what you want. So anyway, I just wanted to make a video about that because, you know, everybody's talking about taking your SP off a pedestal. My friend Courtney Gilmore said to take pizza off a pedestal for all the people that are trying to manifest being skinny while still eating a ton of shit. Take pizza off a pedestal. And I'm just going to say, take manifesting as a whole off a pedestal. Take the 3D world off a pedestal. It is not what it appears to be. And the things of the world are not what they appear to be in terms of significance for your own peace of mind and happiness. That stuff is going to come straight from you, not from anything in the outside world. So I hope that helped somebody. Have a great day.